Chapter 5. The Fallen. Nyctopia, deep below the Kianvati Mountains. The screams had finally stopped. Zarek stood in the heart of the captured dwarven stronghold, surrounded by the roaring heat of a dozen forges. The air was thick with smoke, the metallic tang of blood, and the sharp scent of fear. Dozens of dwarven master smiths worked in chains, their hammers striking steel under the watchful eyes of Drew overseers. King Throgrim sat slumped against a pillar, wrists bound in shadow-forged manacles, his once proud beard matted with blood. Zarek walked slowly through the chaos, dragging his fingers along a freshly forged blade still glowing red-hot. The metal hissed at his touch. One of the Drew captains approached, bowing low. "My lord, we have secured the lower mines. The mithril veins are ours. However, the dwarves are refusing to work at full pace. They sabotage the weapons when our backs are turned." Zarek didn't turn around. His voice was calm, almost gentle. "Then make an example of one of them." The captain hesitated. "Which one, my lord?" Zarek finally turned, his crimson eyes burning. "The king's eldest son." A cruel smile spread across the Drew's face. He bowed again and disappeared into the smoke. Zarek continued walking until he stood directly in front of King Throgrim. The broken dwarf king looked up at him with pure hatred. "You'll never break us," Throgrim growled through bloody teeth. "We'd rather die than serve a fallen god." Zarek crouched down so they were eye to eye. "You still don't understand, do you?" he whispered. "I don't need your loyalty. I only need your fear." A high-pitched scream suddenly echoed through the forge hall. Every dwarf froze. Throgrim's eyes widened in horror as he recognized the voice of his son. Zarek stood up slowly, drinking in the wave of terror now flooding the room. He closed his eyes, breathing it in like fresh air. His cracked armor began to mend itself. The flickering spark of divinity inside him grew brighter, stronger. When he opened his eyes again, they burned with new power. He looked down at the trembling king. "Tell your people to work harder, Throgrim. The next scream you hear will be your wife's." Zarek turned and walked away as another terrified cry rang out behind him. For the first time since falling from Eliond, Zarek felt truly alive again. The Shadow Legion had its first victory, and the war had only just begun.